Good morning. So I'm having all sorts of thoughts this morning. Um, First of all, I'm doing much better than yesterday after that whole episode yesterday. And I realized that it's falling right into the trap the allowing myself to go down into these mind loops because of monetary situation is falling into the traps of society, which are there to keep us down. It's kind of like it's a control thing, and it's all false. So when you can keep your mindset in the place where it needs to be, right? The thing is that it is a process. That those are the rules of the game today. You know, the society's rules of the game, and I can't disconnect from the human network. So I'm going to have to adjust myself and learn how to play with what is. You know, if society's game is having to learn how to make a living in today's world, then that's just what it's going to be. And but they don't I don't have to allow it to send me spiraling in my mind or in my emotions. What's going to be is going to be. It's all numbers. It's a number game. And I'm just going to trust in the divine, which trust in the divine means pretty much is the same as trusting within myself. I did my meditation this morning, and afterwards this I don't know the name of him, but a video came on and they were talking about, and it was interesting. So I left it on while I made my coffee and did my exercise, and it was they were talking about the Catholic Church and how when you go to Rome and you visit the Vatican, you go through these you go through like room after room after room of riches of like I mean, over the top riches that have nothing to do with faith or and that the Catholic Church is all set up around Jesus's teachings, but Jesus is teaching wisdom that is over 30 some thousand years old. And all of the wisdom is the same. And when you really get down to the core of all the religions are speaking of the same thing, that the kingdom is within yourself. It's peace on earth and heaven on earth is a dimension, and it is available and accessible to anyone who does the self work and who can get over the ego mind. And the whole Catholic Church is built around the ego mind and about control and about instilling fear and that the original and it's really now set up all around money and making money, and you know you pay entrance to get into the Vatican. And I've been to the Vatican. I went once when I was young. I went in the Vatican, and when I about a few years ago, when I went to Italy, I went down to visit Pompeii for the most. Um, we went to go into the Vatican. We saw that it was just like a total tourist trap, and so we didn't. It has nothing to do with faith or spirituality anymore, really, very little, and that they have really control over all of the ancient books that they don't let you see. You know, the ancient they have. Uh, um, Archives, ancient archives that are closed off to the public. And so they control knowledge. I mean, anybody that needs to control knowledge, that's fear based because what are you afraid that we're going to find? And the Catholic Church for most of its existence has existed on that you have to pay your dues. So it has very little to do with spirituality, and a lot to do with money and paying for repenting. And you know, you go in, you repent, and then you pay something, and then you're off the hook. So you're free to go out and and sin, because you are always, your sins, you can just pay money to get your sins taken away. So there's a whole bunch of falsity there. And I'm kind of connecting it back also to today's society. As the citizens, we are the workforce. We are the ones that are being held in place as kind of like slaves to money, kind of like slaves to the society system. And there is a reason to keep us down, a reason to keep us in minus and keep us in the constant deficit. If we knew who we were and we were living free with, nature is abundant. Everywhere you look, nature wants to sprout, nature wants to create, and there is enough for everybody. Otherwise, everybody wouldn't exist. You couldn't exist. And so it's all an illusion. And this morning, with listening to that, it's all connecting me back. Yesterday, I had such a good day. Yesterday, I had that breakdown in the morning. I made that video, which, afterwards, I was like, should I take it down? Should I leave it? And I realized that, in a couple months from now, it's going to be irrelevant anyway. And it's part of what I have, what part of the process, it's part of the shaking, it's part of the passing in between the different dimensions. You go from a dimension of knowing that everything is okay, that's just numbers. That is, as long as I don't allow it to move me, it doesn't move me. And the old way of thinking, like yesterday, the video that I made was, I was deep into the old way of thinking, the old world rules. The old world rules means that I am under society's thumb in the way that I feel. Emotionally, I'm led. Um, and that is many, many, many people's, including myself for most of my life, people's reality in this complete being controlled by, even my emotions. Like yesterday, I was going down, I was spiraling, and it's all because of money. You can't eat money. You can't. I know all of the logic, and I've lived there many, many years. Money allows you and provides for you, and you can go and trade it. But I know all of that. I'm talking on a different level here. This is a complete different mindset, a different dimension. And I'm not saying that you don't need money, but I'm saying that you can live in this other dimension, and that isn't what rules your world. Even when you go into the bank and the bank is telling you that you're 16,000 minus, it just like, oh, okay, so I need to play this game a little bit differently. It doesn't have to mean that, oh no, the sky is falling. The sky isn't falling. It just means that, okay, I've been playing the game, I need to change the way that I'm playing the game. And it doesn't have to move me emotionally. Now, I'm not promising that I'm going to be sitting in this you know, that's all part of it. The going in between the dimensions is part of the passing over. You can't, it's a process. The spiritual awakening is a process. Yesterday, after everything, my I was working on my site, and my twin contacted me and told me that he brought us a picnic, and he brought his bow and arrows, and he brought me, he's left-handed, so he brought his bow and arrow, and he brought me a bow and arrow. It's a right hand bow and arrow. It's his daughter's. um and to the spring over here, and we spent the whole afternoon until the evening. He brought lunch, and he brought like this he made this seitan steak, and so we did it on we made a fire, and we cooked it in the evening, so we had lunch and dinner together, and it was just magnificent. It was just such a good day. And it goes to show that, that these things don't have to rule your world. You can still enjoy life, and that this is all just part of the game. It was like going into it was like going into a completely different dimension. We were there for hours, and the time just went by like, I don't even know where it went. It was just all in fun. Um, And some more thoughts that I was having this morning is about jealousy, because we each have our own. So that was something that I wanted to talk about. We each have our own lives and our own way of things are working out, and everybody's life is where it is because of their own choices and the way that they live their life and the way that they choose their life and their own personality and the way that they were raised, and there's so many different things that make up who we are. And I was thinking about jealousy, that jealousy really, people that have a tendency to be jealous, it has nothing to do with the object of their jealousy. It has absolutely nothing. If somebody that has a jealous personality is going to be jealous regardless of the object, because they are dissatisfied with their own life, and so they are constantly seeing. Yeah. First of all, jealousy is something that really hinders your life experience, because when you're jealous of others, you're not enjoying your own life. When you're jealous of others, you're always looking outward where you are miserable and they're having. And the reason I'm saying this is because we each have our own things that we're working through, and I was experiencing in the last couple of weeks. Um, See, I'm almost embarrassed to say it. I'm, but for the lesson, right? I was experiencing being the object of jealousy, and in more from more than one person. And I was thinking to myself, it's so like nobody has my troubles, or nobody knows exactly what I am experiencing. And so it's all false. It's all false, because yeah, I am working on my life and trying to make it to be the best that I can make it, and trying to enjoy, and enjoying my life. I really do enjoy my life, even with all the pitfalls that I have and that I share. Um, but overall, I see this life experience as a spiritual experience, and it's like a becoming. It's like uh, hurdles that we go through, or like tests, or like we go through something that is difficult just so that we can overcome it and expand beyond it. And when you see life that way, then you become completely in your own life, and other people's lives don't. I mean, you can watch other people's lives and see what they're going through, and kind of take your own like lessons from it, and enhance your experience from it. But jealousy is not living your own life, really. If you're looking at somebody else's experience saying, oh, they have a better experience than I do, and you're jealous of them, jealousy is a way of living. Is somebody that is jealous of somebody else, they have a tendency to be jealous. It doesn't matter who the object of their jealousy is. It's a dissatisfaction with their own life, and it's a feeling that they don't control their own life experience. Because if I'm jealous of somebody else, it means that I don't think that those options are open for me. Otherwise, why would I have jealousy? It would just be an inspiration. Oh, cool, look what they're doing. Let me go do that. Or cool, let me take that and apply it into my life in the ways that it suits my life. And um, and so so jealousy really is a way of living. It's living through eyes of scarcity, of those options aren't open for me, they're open for others. Or what I have is not, we're all even, or not quite, but there's different ways of looking at it. But we were all born with our own life experience and life lessons that we have to go through, and our own talents and our own gifts, and our own things that we were meant to go through. And so, um, being jealous of somebody else is really giving over our life power, is really not seeing the value in what we have to give. So it's not fulfilling our own lives, our own purpose, our own, if I'm looking outside at somebody else's life experience, and the thing is the people that I experience jealousy from, they're full blown adults. And which means that they are in the process of their own life, like full on in the process of their own life, and not fulfilling their life um, mission or what it is that they are meant to be doing. Because if you're jealous of somebody else, it means that you're not fulfilling your own um, what you've done, what you've come to do. So, just like I've said in previous, I did a video before about jealousy, about what jealousy is, the different kinds of jealousy, and what jealousy is. That's really interesting. But jealousy can be turned into inspiration. To If you're jealous of somebody, then it means that you want that for yourself, or you want to experience those experiences too. But the jealousy is like a pass-through emotion. If you feel it, it's a pass-through emotion. I was blessed, really blessed, with understanding jealousy from a very, very young age. Um, Understanding that it that everybody has their own experiences, and everybody has, also when you're jealous, you're only looking at somebody else's heights. You're not looking at their lessons. You're not looking at everything that they're going through to be able to achieve that. If I'm jealous of somebody because they play the guitar really well, I'm not looking at the hours and hours and hours and hours that of practice and sweat that it took to get to that point. So it's false. Jealousy is completely false. It's taking one little strand and looking at that one little pinpoint and saying, "Oh, that." Okay, I got to get back and get my kids off to school. So I just wanted to also show that well, there was those things that I wanted to talk. I can keep on talking and talking and talking, but doing much better than yesterday, and I'm so happy that I'm in this place. I still feel like I can still feel the feeling of it coming up, but knowingly I'm putting it down. That's where it comes into play, where your emotions and your mind work together. Your mind can alter your emotions, and your emotions can alter your mind. They work together. It's like a synchronicity. It's like a flow, a game. It's when you get the two to marry, you get your mind and your emotions on the same page. You can work with them both, and they each of them alter each other. And so whenever I feel that coming up, I don't even allow it to come up. With my mind, I bring it right back down and say, it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. My fridge is full of food. So, and my life is full of, and that's all part of it. So here I go. There's an airplane over there going down in the field, spraying all the little bugs and stuff. It's just, it's a travesty. I'll show you. I'll turn it around. See the airplane? It's right there. And that's the Sea of Galilee down there. The land of milk and honey, killing off all the bees. Look at that. You see, I don't even know how that even flies anymore. Those airplanes, they come and they have no discrimination. And even last night when I got home, there was a bee on my floor, like twitching. There's no way. There's no way. They say, oh, that doesn't harm. How could it not harm the bees? How could it not harm the bees? I don't understand that. How could it not harm us if they're spraying poison all over the food? And how could it not harm us? Look, this is a tree. I'll show you. See the last mangoes, they falling to the ground. So I don't see it. That one's all eaten up, so I don't see any on the ground right. I'm gonna head back and get my kids off. So thank you for watching.